Welcome to Masterclass 15. My masterclasses are designed for people in the hospitality business to help them make more money, give them a bit more time and less stress. Well, today the subject is pubs. So pubs are in trouble. What's the answer? So it's a quick look at where they are, where they came from and where they should be going to. A YouGov poll published this week revealed that 45% of people are visiting pubs less frequently than last year. UK Hospitality has already reported that the number of pubs has fallen by 15,000 since the year 2000, and the next 10 years promises to see a further reduction of 8,000 based on the current level of decline. Why? Well, looking back at history, pre-1989, 75% of pubs were owned by 6 brewers and 95% of their turnover was in drinks. The beer orders of that year limited ownership of tied pubs to 2,000. So Bass, for example, had to sell 5,000 of the 7,000 pubs. In the 1990s and 2000s, there was a massive growth in mum and dad pubs, offering increased menu choices and reducing their reliance on alcohol sales. This was the birth of the gastropub. Chains like Chef and Brewer and All Bar One grew dramatically, offering great value for money meals, but to standardised specifications which eventually reduced their appeal. This was accelerated by the employment costs associated with decent chefs and, of course, staff shortages, which led businesses to de-skill their offerings to reduce preparation time. This helped wholesale companies like Breaks and Booker, who developed product ranges to meet this demand, including frozen pub grub, 66 different kinds of chips, and Yorkshire puddings for 35p. The general decline in quality led CAMRA in 2011 to remove the term gastropubs from their guides. The pubs that continue to succeed with proper menus have really become restaurants in their own right. The Hand and Flowers from Tom Kerridge is a classic example of this. But who is ready nowadays to pay £175 for Sunday lunch in a pub? So, what does the future hold? Well, the key elements in any hospitality venue, from the customer's point of view, are cleanliness, service, atmosphere, food quality and value for money, in that order. And these elements apply as much to pubs as any other hospitality venue. It will not escape readers that, generally speaking, the level of cleanliness in most pubs is terrible. Guests correlate the condition of toilets with that of the kitchens, which inevitably leads them to conclude that the kitchens are by and large unhygienic, thus depressing demand for food. Service too is extremely patchy in pubs. It's not unusual to see staff in scruffy t-shirts with visible tattoos and the occasional baseball cap. The casualness of their dress ties in nicely with the casualness of service, where guests are regularly called mate or love rather than sir, gentlemen or madam, ladies. The more formal type of address is particularly appreciated by younger customers as it's an unusual accolade. The pub visit is not just about buying a drink, it's about an experience. That experience is largely enhanced by atmosphere, which should be stylish, photogenic and vibey. There should be activity like quizzes, board games, open mic, karaoke, theme nights. Very often the choice of music is given to the pub manager, who tends to play his taste in music, which is often bloody awful. There should be a very clear definition of the type of music which suits the profile of the guests rather than that of the staff. Here's a tip for you. If in doubt, ask the guests. The pub should be a welcoming space. Women should feel comfortable and safe, and the place should be friendly to non-drinkers or light drinkers. 1 in 3 Generation Z drink less or not at all, and they expect an inclusive environment. Consider better food options. Keep the menu short, maximum 6 starters, 6 mains, 6 desserts. They should be quick to produce, easy and exciting. Offer QR code menus, ordering via an app with split the bill features. Promote the use of local suppliers and introduce seasonal products to help the environment and offer lower prices. There's an interesting trend for pubs to sublet their kitchens to third parties who pay between 15 and 30% of food income to the manager or owner. However, it's very important that the kitchen team is coached to understand the culture and values the pub is seeking to deliver, and that they're able to integrate their staff with those. In terms of value for money, price matters, but it's value for money that matters more. People are cost conscious, but they still want quality, not to feel as though they're being ripped off. So creative offers like Pizza and Pint Tuesdays or Monday £10 burgers with fries go down well, as do loyalty schemes, particularly like Nando's, where guests get a reward after just 3 visits. So in essence, I'm saying that pubs need to emulate the same criteria as restaurants while maintaining and promoting their own unique personalities. On a personal note, I was marketing director of Bernie Inns in the 1980s. Prior to my arrival, the company had bought Schooner Inns. Bernie was a food-led concept, Schooner was liquor-led, and it proved to be an almost insurmountable challenge to get Schooner management to adopt the values of the Bernie chain. Eventually, I created a new brand for Schooner, which we called 1111, and we dropped the Bernie name from their operations. Hence, I do not underestimate the challenge of moving the direction of your pub into a more restaurant type of operation, but I believe that this is important to consider for the future survival of your pub. Well, if you found this interesting and you've got any queries, please don't hesitate to contact me by email, WhatsApp or phone, or check out my website. Anyway, thanks very much for listening. Hope you found it useful, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.